It's showtime! Let's go! Let's go!
Yo, what's poppin'? All my peeps. It is I, your host with the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can. And champion of the Patriot peeps, Patty Pitts, back in the yard of streams. For another edition of the Gillette Gazette, presented to you by Stadium Rant. And you can't have the Gillette Gazette without the pretty fly science guy himself, the doctor of Patriotonomics, Mr. Soor. Soor, how we doing?
We're doing
on
real
a
well.
victory Friday?
First of all, is you can see my face this time, so
yes,
we're no longer in shame mode for now. And like I know there are people that want us to tank, but first of all, I've never believed in that strategy. I think it's the kind of thing that losers do, and I don't think it's time for us to acknowledge that we're one of those franchises because we're not. And secondly, we need some momentum, man. Like, it's so important for this team and this locker room to know what it's like to win again. For some of these players that we really need to stay on the team, your Duggars, your Peppers, your Judons, Gonzalez, like down the road, this gives them something to believe in this organization. And I really think wins like this have a ripple effect on the rest of the season. And not just on the rest of the season, but on like well beyond the season. And so I'm thrilled, honestly. This was very needed and pretty good performance on all sides. If not for a blocked punt, this game wouldn't even be close. So
yeah, I mean, other than the block punt, which, I mean, nobody's perfect, but the Patriots still worked it. It was the best Patriots game I've watched all season. And it rises the level of morale of Patriot Nation, which at the end of the day, I know this, I can't believe this of all things is a controversial take, but the fans need a win. Okay? The Patriots are not the Texans. They are not the Jaguars. They're not the Browns. They're the goddamn New England Patriots. The Patriots are winners. And what winners do when battling adversity like that is they just power through. And then when there is a rest period, you strategize and move on. That's what they have built themselves on for the past 20 years. And let's put it this way. They lost the greatest football player of all time and had to recover. And at that point, you could have went so many ways, and they went in the young QB route. The problem is, it wasn't everyone that just cleaned house immediately. It's there's still lingering effects from the old time, and you have to get weak, and you just realize it. I don't know. I'm rambling because I heard something. Yeah. Whatever. Point is that this seemed like a Patriots team that can be a good team when it wants to. I mean, for God's sakes, Juju Smith balled out.
That was an incredible catch. That was...
I don't know how he caught it. I still don't. I still do.
There's something to be said about the fact that even if you just look at the intensity, that a team that is closer to the number one, like that's not battling for a playoff spot, but is instead battling for a number one pick, outcompeted away from home.
Oh yeah, no.
That was in the playoffs coming into the game and needed to win this game to keep themselves in that position. And we out toughed them. And the one of the things that had been missing from New England is that kind of intent and that kind of thirst for a win. And there's a lot to be said about how Belichick rallied the troops.
What the hell's going on behind you?
Okay, Atlanta is Yes. Oh my god.
Dude, it's like Horn City.
Yeah. There must have been like 26, 27 different horns. Maybe they're all celebrating the Patriots. Who knows?
Dude, I hope they were. I mean, probably they heard us going. They're cheering that we're back in the yard of streams. The champ and the science guy are here. So maybe they're just excited about that.
It's just a different feeling on Victory Friday, right? It's like
Oh,
nobody expected this game to go in any other way except for a loss. Yet it's just something different after a win. And it's like that first bite of food after you've been starved for a couple days, after you've like had to fast or something like that.
Yeah, I've been there.
And it's just it tastes so much better because I've not had that food in so long. And honestly, we were like, I think we can all say that during the dynasty we were getting immune to wins. We were like, all right, yeah, we won, great.
Dude, yeah, it's why I became a Lions fan. Like, because winning was getting just numbing.
Yeah,
weirdly.
It was almost like any loss that you have. Like, can't believe we lost 2-3 games this year.
Yeah, we were getting spoiled. Like that. That's exactly what it is. The Patriots fans have been spoiled for so long, and then the atrocity that we have had to experience over the past 8 games or whatever it is, this losing streak, and then to get that win, it makes you appreciate that win a lot more, and it actually gives you some hope, whether you want to think it or not. It puts hope in you. There was no hope.
Absolutely.
There was no hope.
Not hope for a playoff spot. It's hope for the future. It's hope for the fact that this team still has some material, like some potential to compete, and that they have fight, and that there's a path forward. Wins show you that there's a path forward.
Yes.
Because it was starting to feel like you were watching a team that didn't even belong in the NFL, honestly. Offensively speaking.
You texted me a lot of things that would correlate with that. I mean,
yeah,
I think
things like I would take Michigan plus 10.
Yeah, I would take Michigan money line against them. Like it's just, and that's what I'm saying, that the fans get down and there's just it's just emptiness. You don't have that feeling. I mean, for God's sakes, I've had family and friends that just don't watch the games anymore. Actually, on Thanksgiving, I asked about the Patriots, and my cousin asked me, "Oh, you still watch them?" I'm like, "Well, kind of have to."
Yeah, I mean, you're the champ.
About it. The champ of Peeps. I watched not only once but twice, just like Santa.
That I can't do. I can't watch these abominations.
That's why you're not the champs, right? That's what I watch it twice, because you gotta double check and be thorough with everything, unlike many of the big wigs that we deal with on Twitter. So, but in all seriousness, like, you watched this team last night, and bringing it back, I'm going to bring back a segment, because we haven't done segments in a little bit, because it's just us venting.
There's been nothing else to talk about other than, we have no offense. Our poor defense is suffering because our offense is terrible.
Like, yeah, it's the only thing you can talk about, so there's no reason to try to talk about something else. But Soor, I'm bringing it back. Who is him? There's a lot of it's not just one. There's a lot of options.
Give it to the kid. Lots of adversity. Nobody thought, and myself included, nobody thought that I could ever see a good game from him. And there were some throws that Bailey Zappi was making yesterday that were like
nonsense.
Because, I mean, I'm sure we remember one of the most traumatic moments in recent Patriots history, that Micah Hyde interception of Mac Jones on the first in the first drive of the Patriots Bills game. And the third touchdown that Bailey Zappi threw was basically that exact same play, that exact same positioning of the wide receiver and the safety, except Zappi threw it with enough zip to beat the safety.
I don't get how. I really don't. It was an unbelievable throw. That Hunter
Zappi makes that throw against the Bills. That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. I mean,
Who
and
knows what happens if we're 7-7 rather than 14-0? Maybe the defense buoys it into some momentum. I'm not saying we win that game, but I'm saying that maybe that spurs something much less embarrassing.
now here's, I think, the topic that everyone wants us to get to, okay, in the form of a question from our good pal, JC. All right. The Pats did win, but they lost at the same time. What is their draft stock now? And here's the thing, Soor. I bring this up now. Great. That's how the champ connects things. I bring this in now because out of the Yarder streams before we entered, you kind of posed a good question involving the quarterback. So I think this is a good way to connect some segments and whatnot. So, Soor, the floor is yours.
Because honestly, and this goes against everything I've been saying for the last few weeks, but it's hard not to be wrong sometimes in a season like this. But Bailey Zappi never really got a real crack where he kind of got the statement of like, you impress us, you're in the starting job. Last year it was, all right, we're going to give you watered down game plans so we can get through these couple games that Mac can come in. And then, hey, Mac kind of sucked in the first couple drives of this game. You deliver now and maybe we'll start you in the next game. But right now it feels like Bailey Zappi has free reign over the job for the rest of the season. And especially after yesterday, where he's actually throwing meaningful touchdown passes, where he's actually leading the offense, you do wonder if things go well. If, let's say, we put up a fight against the Chiefs, if we put up a fight against the Bills, maybe beat the Jets, and then is the Broncos the other game, and put up a decent fight against the Broncos.
Oh, that's gross. That's so gross. I can't believe I'm saying a Broncos Patriots matchup. Gross.
You're talking about, hey, this offense is actually kind of competent. Maybe let's get a receiver, and Zappi could be the guy. And I'm not saying that that's likely to happen. I think you're going to find things exposed for Zappi. But at the same time, okay, everything is happening.
Yeah, dude. Well, you kind of brought it on yourself. Like you said, should we start Zappi next year? And the horn sounded. So
All right, fine. I'm not jumping gun yet. You can chill out, ambulance.
Yo.
I know the thought of Zappi starting next year is sending some people into cardiac arrest. Sorry.
Jesus.
But I do think that when you're looking at a quarterback class that is very talented, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the 2021 class where it's like these guys were just in such perfect systems at times where it was like, I mean, Drake May is a talented quarterback, but we already talked about him with Mitch Trubisky. Caleb Williams, I believe, was just set up in a very offensive league in the Pac-12 to succeed. And I don't know how he handles adversity yet because he hasn't really faced much. A few other examples. Bo Nix wasn't very good in Auburn, and then he got into a perfect offensive system in Oregon. Rather than focusing on the fact that we're a QB away, maybe we're not a QB away, and we're some improvements around the QB away.
I just want to be that. I just want to be that guy to put out there that I was skeptical of Mac when we first drafted him because of what you're saying. It's about the system. And yeah, you can go with the obvious point of, well, he had Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, all those stars. But Alabama quarterbacks notoriously have not done well in the NFL. Their transition just doesn't transfer. It doesn't matter who their head coach is at Alabama. It doesn't work. And at this point, you have the closest thing to a Belichick in Nick Saban, and he goes to the most Belichickian Alabama NFL team or team franchise, whatever, and fails. It only strengthens my point that Alabama quarterbacks just don't pan out in the NFL.
I mean, yeah,
do you know two? Can you name two? There's only been two ever that have been, I think, Super Bowl champions and Hall of Famers, and they're the only two.
Bama quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Goodness. Because I was gonna say, like Hurts and Tagovailoa are like the two.
That's the anomaly.
that I can think of, right?
There's an anomaly to everything. So they're the anomaly, but other than them, it's not good.
Well, wasn't Joe Namath from Bama?
Joe Namath.
Can't think of the other one. Give me a starting letter.
I'll give you a hint. But then a starting letter.
Okay.
Oh, was it Bart Starr? That's not who I'm thinking of, Sork. I want you to think. Yeah, it's Raider. The snake.
Stabler.
Yes. Ken Stabler. JC got it right as well. Yeah, those two are the only two ever. And Joe Namath only won one Super Bowl, only had one like incredible year or whatever.
I think we're a little spoiled by saying statements like only won one Super Bowl. That's a good career. I think people need to remember
Not
that.
New
If
England.
you win one Super Bowl in your career, that is a good career.
Yeah, but not New England. All right.
Yes, that's because we're spoiled.
I'm still furious that Paul Pierce only won one NBA Finals.
That is a travesty.
Like, I expect more.
That core needed to win more. That I will agree with. They should have won in 2010. They should have won in 2012, actually, when they had the Heat on the ropes. And then Braun just brawned.
And they traded Kendrick Perkins. I'm telling you, off-season, Gillette Gazette, like, full on, we could become the Celtics and still going. Trust me. Just see the vision, peeps.
Anyway.
Stay here. Anyway, back to the other Boston team that we actually have a show about. Alabama quarterbacks have never panned out. So when you go to a guy like Mac Jones, who is in the perfect system, and he has the work ethic, work ethic's fantastic, but it only gets you so far.
Right.
If you can't elevate your talent, and he's just not. He can't do it. So
what I'm going to say though is that.
So go get a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. That's kind of my conclusion.
Interesting that you bring up Marvin Harrison Jr. because
thank you.
Talked about it's really interesting what's happening in college sports because of this NIL thing, which I have my takes about it.
Me too.
College players should be paid, but there's a limit. Is my take. But
okay, we're on the same wavelength.
Martin Harrison Jr. might not go into the draft. He has that. First of all, he has that passion for his school. He's angry that he hasn't been able to beat Michigan in his time in the school, and I get that. And then there's also the fact that he might get paid more this year in college.
How stupid is that?
That's what shouldn't be allowed, right? That's where I would draw the line. And but the fact is, we may not end up having a shot at Marvin Harrison Jr. And so now, if you're talking about the third pick, you've got some options here. You could get a quarterback, right? That's probably what a lot of people will think that you can do. My personal take: you trade back to like 7, 8. You get Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU.
Thank you.
Excellent. I don't know if you've heard of Jaden Daniels, the quarterback.
I've heard the talk around the town.
He's like his number one guy, and he's also a Heisman finalist. He's fantastic, like that electric wide receiver. He's kind of been overshadowed by Marvin Harrison Jr. in terms of like the hype, but very good. And I mean, obviously, I'd love to get Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's available. For all the Alabama quarterbacks don't succeed. Equally true, Ohio State wide receivers do succeed.
Yeah. 100%.
JSN's having a pretty good rookie season. Garrett Wilson was an immediate wide receiver 1 for the Jets.
Still is.
Olave is awesome. God, who else? I mean, plenty of examples.
Zeke.
Oh, right. Of course, Zeke.
Not a wide receiver, but skill position.
Still.
Absolutely. So it just.
But
I all right.
Let's assume, and this is assuming that Zappe finishes the season the way he played yesterday. If he doesn't, we get a quarterback. It's that simple. I mean, if it turns out that this game is an anomaly, then we realize that. But he strings together 4 more games of this caliber.
Yeah.
Why not instead focus on getting a great tackle, a great a great wide receiver.
Anyone, an offensive tackle who could protect him.
Yeah, and now you can start talking, like, if our quarterback situation is actually good, now you can start talking about a guy like Brock Bowers and things like that. Although I still don't think tight end is the move.
I don't either, but it's New England. They draft him as a tight end. They could shift him to wide receiver. Look what they did with Edelman and every other player there.
Brock Bowers is basically a receiver. He is that dominant. But we need
if MHJ doesn't go, but if MHJ doesn't come into the draft because he makes more money at OSU, then I wouldn't mind getting a guy like Bowers because he's a generational talent, and it reminds me a lot of Kyle Pitts. And the one thing that I believe, or one of the things, that I believe that the Falcons are doing wrong with him, are they're not just making him a wide receiver, essentially. Like, right. Yeah, he's a tight end, but just consistently line him up at wide receiver. And
they're wasting what could be a really good tight end duo with Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts. And honestly, I think I really think that we wasted Jonnu Smith. I don't think he was the problem. I think the way we used him was the problem. He was good in Tennessee. He has had some moments in Atlanta. It was here where he couldn't succeed because, honestly, since McDaniels, it's hard to get a guy who's able to really create and innovate with his play calling. Patricia didn't know what he was doing, and Bill O'Brien is safe and cookie cutter, is what I'm starting to observe. That there's no, he's able to call okay, this is kind of what you do here because this is what people typically do here, kind of play caller, and not let's invent, let's be innovative. And that's where guys like Mike McDaniel, and really anybody from the Shanahan tree differentiates themselves. With Belichick, it's defensive minds, Flores, Mayo, like et cetera, that really know what they're doing on that side of the ball. They can be creative with the defense. On the other hand, you've got Shanahan's offensive guys that are the same way. And first of all, would love if we're going to go with, if we're not going to stick with Mac Jones, which obviously we should not. At that point, it's not a problem if you change offensive coordinators again because you don't have a quarterback who's like used to anybody.
I'd agree with that.
Bill O'Brien, for me, we'll see what happens towards the end of the season, but I'd like someone with some more bite.
Yeah.
I want Ben Johnson, maybe even as head coach. Look, I know you're a Lions fan, but
no, I know it's inevitable that he's got to go because he can't become a head coach. That's MCDC's job. But I want your thoughts on this, Soor. Actually, a good pal of mine, Callie Will. He came home for Thanksgiving and he was hanging here in the cave with me, and we watched a video on motion. He showed me a video on motion because we were talking about the Dolphins offense. And he said, do you know how much motion they use? I forget the absurd percentage of motion that they use, every offensive play, whatever. So we watched this video on how just motion is a cheat code in this new era of the NFL. And it's all about tricking the defender and all that. I could go on and on about it, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, there's none of that in the Patriots offense. There's no variety. Even if it's motion, it's your standard motion. It's not new age stuff, which that's what's finding success right now in the NFL. I want Science Guy's thoughts on this because I feel like you would have an interesting take on it.
So what exactly is the question?
Motion. Do you believe the Patriots should be using it way more?
Oh, yeah.
And how important is it?
Mind-boggling to me that they're not doing it a lot more because it's the direction the game's moving in, first of all. I feel like it's paramount.
Yeah. It makes no sense that they're not because it's very predictable. Their entire offense is predictable. You know who it's going to. They're going to run this play on this down, they're going to go this direction, whatnot. There's no variety, no spice.
What the Patriots used to be really good at is having guys who could do on offense, who could do any one of many things. They right now have those on defense. You've got guys like Peppers who can function in any one of like 3 or 4 different roles, and it's all the safeties are like that. But on the offense, similarly, like we used to have, pass catching running backs, good receivers, good tight ends who could who could catch, and even fullbacks who could catch the ball. And then they would line up in bizarre ways and ways that would confuse the defense. And you put all that together, and you have the signal caller who can process all of that and put it all together. And all of a sudden, I have no idea what's coming from this offense. Any one of like 7 guys could catch the ball. Different people are in motion, and I look at a guy like Demario Douglas. I'm just trying to think in the current receiver role, and you can do more with him in terms of how you really leverage his athleticism into not just pure athleticism, but versatility. Thornton, that one play, the option play seems to work really well. The little end arounds and things like that. So lean into his versatility instead of asking someone with his speed to just be a conventional wide receiver. And the same can be done with a lot of players. And so you saw them put time on, like they got closer to that yesterday. They did some unconventional things. They got Ty Montgomery involved again, which was great. Next year, you'll have Marcus Jones coming back. Why not try him on offense again because of how well that went last year? There's so much you can do even with this current roster, but then you add a threatening wide receiver, and all of a sudden that just triples.
1,000%. I think we've been talking a lot here, Soor. We got to give our mouths a little bit of a rest.
For sure.
Which means we got to hear from our guy Austin, to tell us the great things that are happening over at Stadium Rant, stadiumrant.com, and Stadium Rant HQ on all social media platforms. So, Austin, what's going on?
Calling all gamblers. Need help cashing that parlay ticket? Stadium Rant's Gritty Gamblers has you covered. Tyler, Austin, and Matt post gambling picks daily across Stadium Rant's social media. Be sure to follow Stadium Rant on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to never miss out on our experts' picks.
Gritty Gamblers, money. Parlay Joe, money. All right, go check out Gritty Gamblers over at Stadium Rant YouTube, Stadium Rant's YouTube channel, Stadium Rant, and our social media platform, Stadium Rant HQ. All right, so I was rewatching the game as a champ does, and a graphic came up from last night about the Patriots draft picks over the past few seasons. And boy, howdy, were they terrible. I got to go back to it because, Soor, if we're going to draft the future this year, okay, we can't have it be the way it's gone. All right, since 2013, all right, I found it. We had no first round pick in 2013. 2014, can you name it? See if you can name them.
2014.
I'll give you the year. I'll give you the year, but we're gonna start chronologically.
Is this just our first round picks?
It's only first round.
I remember it not being good.
Okay, Warner.
Malcolm Brown.
Okay, I'll give you. He was 2015.
Dominic Easley.
Yes, 2014. Dominic Easley, Malcolm Brown.
I was going to say both those guys didn't work out. I don't remember.
They did not. They did not. Malcolm Brown. We had a forfeit in 2016.
Oh God, Goodell.
Sweet chin music to Goodell. That's what I wish. 2017, we did not have a first round pick. Classic Bill. 2018, we had 2 though.
Michelle and Wynn, right?
It is Isaiah Wynn and Sony Michel.
One of
2019.
those worked out, you could argue, because he helped win us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Sony.
But he
Yeah,
played really long.
I would go with 2018 is definitely the best so far.
Yeah, although Isaiah Wynn started out promising and then turned into like garbage.
Turned into shit. That's what he did. Turned into
But
shit.
I really do wonder what, because the talent was there. I do wonder what Scar could have brought out of him, having worked with him for longer.
I know. If he did just a little bit.
O-line coach is an important position, guys.
It's a very important position. And here we go to 2019, the greatest draft pick in Patriots franchise history.
Nikhil Harry. Yeah, we know.
2020, we didn't have a pick. COVID took it.
Yeah, we had a first-round quality pick in the second round, though. Kyle Duggar.
Oh, yeah, the X Factor.
Now, on the other hand, we had two of the most garbage picks I've ever seen in the third round that year. Dalton Keene and Devin Asiasi, a tight end duo that totaled 5 catches in 3 years. Fuck.
That was such a genuine frustration. Fuck. Oh, I love it. I love it. 2021. Matt, some action comes to town. I think you could have guessed that one.
Yeah.
2022.
Cole
Strange. But potential to be the actual best draft pick out of the bunch. Who this segment is actually created for.
Lonzo could end up becoming one of the best picks the Patriots have made in a long, long time. But we don't know.
Dude, he's incredible. And it sucks that we don't get to see him this year, but you know, it's funny how things turn out. Maybe it's an all right year to just sit out and watch. Because imagine he had to play through this, just shining everywhere, locking down everybody, and then he loses 6-0. How much more frustrated would you be?
I mean, orders of magnitude more.
Yeah.
Orders of magnitude more. And I mean, I had my oppositions to even that drafting strategy at the time, getting defense in the first round when the needs were on offense. You could have gotten a guy like Smith and Jigba. But Gonzo has worked out wonderfully.
He's worked out very well. It was a good pick now. You know, I think it saved Bill's ass because he shouldn't have taken Gonzo there. But you know, you see his skill on the field already and the impact he's made. So it's like, all right, it wasn't the right position to draft, but you got something cooking here. So he gets a pass there, but we need to see difference next year. We absolutely need to see difference. So
yeah,
it needs to happen.
I mean, I don't care what kind of defensive superstar is available. I don't care how earth-shatteringly good this person might be. Mm-hmm. Offense is the name of the game in this draft. And I'm not just talking the first round pick. I'm saying maybe for the first 4 rounds. We are more than fine on defense. We almost have too much depth at some of our positions.
We have way too much depth at some of our positions, honestly. I really believe that. Because, I mean, it's star power we have. All right, let's get to another segment here because we have segments now. It's not just doom and gloom here at the Gillette Gazette. We love to see it. You know what? Let's bring it back to wrestling. Meltzer rating. All right, so what would you rate? I'll think of a question here. What would you rate I would say Zappy, what would you rate the game last night? You can go more things, but let's rate some.
I'm going to say 4 out of 5. I would grade lower if I had standards, which I don't. And the reason it's not 5 is because in the second half, it was like the team was just like, all right, we have a lead. Let's just try not to lose that lead. Instead of what I would have liked, which was an aggression of, we're up by 11. Let's end this. Let's put the foot on the neck and
turn it.
Keep going, or
turn it.
Start the 6-1-9, end the fight.
Oh, 6-1-9.
Instead of basically saying, all right, I'm just gonna wait for this person I'm just gonna wait for them to try to pull a spear on me and run into the pole.
Hit an RKO.
Luckily they did.
Oh, love that.
They had a chance after that Bailey Zappi interception to make this game really interesting, and they didn't. For whatever reason.
Because Mitch Trubisky sucks. UNC quarterback. Not good. Like, he looked awful last night. Some of the throws he was making were abysmal. Like, throwing them into the ground, overthrowing guys, and then on top of that, just getting sacked. It was awful.
Yeah.
He's not good. He's not a good quarterback. I would say Melter rating for me, Juju Smith's rating, overall rating, after last night, it's going up a few stars. I'll give him 3. Okay, I'll give him 3 because he showed me what he could do in his best game. Like he showed us that he can be that guy to rely on.
My only thing is that we knew what he could be in his best game. Everybody knew what Juju Smith-Schuster is capable of being at his best. But that just begs the question of where was this? You can make that catch, but you couldn't bail out. You couldn't make that catch during the Commanders game of a ball that Mac threw right to you. That probably would have gotten us to tie it.
Would have.
So I mean, my rating for him yesterday was like a 6 out of 5. But I want more consistency. This is the problem with Smith and Parker, that they'll have their games every so often, but gotta have some consistency.
There's got to be more consistency. And there was a lot of, injuries last night. No Ramondre, no Pop Douglas. And they still look this good. No Devontae Parker, obviously the GOAT. The Patriots offense is just so fascinating to me because it looks so good without some heavy hitters. And something else that piqued my mind, I just remembered now. Look what happens when you give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. Good things happen. Look, how good did he look in that first drive?
He looked incredible. And it's
looked like from a galaxy far, far away.
You have to keep him. You have to keep him. This should be one of the offseason priorities. It would be a waste to have him start emerging this late into the season and not keep him.
Yeah. Exactly. He adds that value to your team that's so critical in an offense. Like, you can rely on him. Yeah. I mean, he got 29 carries last night. That's incredible.
He's also, again, he's a guy that has experience in the big moments, and we're running out of those guys. The kind of guys who've had experience in playoff games, who've had game-winning type plays in big moments. And I'm not, obviously the Cowboys weren't the most clutch team, but I don't think
been there.
That was not his fault.
No, he's been there though.
Mm-hmm. Well, he has won playoff games. Playoff game, singular.
Singular. So
but he's been there. He's been a part. Like, the reason that I remember the Des Cottick game against the Packers. Like, there've been all these moments where Zeke was the only reason that these were even games.
Yeah. Seriously. So I'm kind of feeling saying F it. And Pete's here. I'm saying F it. And just let's go to nonsense right away because here's the thing. We had a hell of a game over in the NSN. And we haven't had two happy games correlate with one another in a while. So and I want to show the peeps. So let's hear from Austin, and then let's travel to said galaxy far, far away.
The Jets game was the only one, right? Games where both the Patriots and the militia won.
Yes, that was. We did beat the Puddle Jumpers pretty terribly, and the Patriots beat the Jets too that week. So, all right, Austin, what do we got, dude?
Fifth Down Territory is Stadium Rant's live, relentless NFL coverage every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lamb, Bahookie, Shane, and Louie debating the toss and hitting you with that impact block on a weekly basis. Unfiltered scorchers will be spoken. Parental supervision is advised. Like and subscribe to Stadium Rant on YouTube so that you never miss a show.
Babies, you Jerry took your rights. You can have your children for the night. Damn right, it is time for some nonsense presented to you by the Nonsense Sports Network, an affiliate of Stadium Rant.
This is the first time in a while you've been this excited about saying that.
Yo, we had a great week.
Winning is one of those things that it changes everything.
It really changes you. All right, you got a little extra pep in your step. You know, that guy who cut you off in traffic doesn't really piss you off as much. It's a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
It's and when the militia take their muskets and fire them over at Steel City and get the dub, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And dude, all right, let me get this up. Soor, do you remember? Okay, so here's the thing. When I was drafting this team, I remember getting back to you about the results of the draft, and you were like, who are the best teams, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I remember looking at the Steelers and just jaw dropped, realizing how much of a juggernaut they are. And boy, howdy, are you guys about to see how much of a juggernaut they are. So for anyone who is new here I do want to hear that. So for anyone who is new here, I have to introduce it. The Militia are a faux Patriots team that Soor and I co-own along with the other board of execs of the Gillette Gazette. It goes live every Wednesday at 5:30 over at twitch.tv/Nonsense Sports Network, an affiliate of Stadium Rant. And we own a team. We run the Patriots how we should run it, and then do some fun little experiments and games along with it. So, Soor, what will you guys say?
All right. I missed your last sentence because of Wi-Fi issues. What's going on?
And the other siren, more sirens just going off.
Yeah, this is just
it's hilarious. No, I thought you had to say something, but no. It's do you remember this juggernaut of a team?
No.
Okay. Well, you're about to see it because holy cow, they are incredible. We have Steel City and the Militia battling. That's the playoff race right now, okay, peeps? All right, that's the playoff race, Soor. Do you see where we're ranked?
5th? Not bad.
Not bad. Did you see who's in first?
Oh God, Bill. I mean, not surprising with Mahomes and all.
Dude, it's the Bills with Mahomes. Are you kidding me? Yeah. That's just absurd. And they actually have a really good team. We lost to them. I'm pretty sure we did lose to them, which sucks. So yeah, we got the Purple Birds, dude, and then the Redbirds, Cardinals. Like, unbelievable. It's just so different, the playoff race here, compared to real life. Yeah, so there's their quarterback, good old Lamar Jackson. And then their running back is Derrick Henry.
Wow. I mean, you don't even need a running back when you have Lamar Jackson and you have arguably the best one in the game.
Now, you think the offense is just a juggernaut right there. Their wide receiver one, DeAndre Hopkins.
All right.
And you'll see how much of an impact he makes on the game. And then on the defensive side of things, they have Charvarius Ward and this man, Demario Douglas, who was a factor in this one. So, yep, we got the opening shot of the stadium. We have our player spotlight, as always. I mean, look at his stats for this year. Not too bad. Not too bad. And then we rocked the alternate Patriot Minuteman, alternate whites for the occasion as we travel down. Look at, oh, dude, that team is so good. Yeah, let's skip ahead here. Unless you guys, do you want to see? Yeah, let's take a time a little bit to appreciate the great work of the NSN production crew. All right, here we go. Injuries. Now, Soor, keep this in mind. These are our injuries right now that we have to deal with going into this game.
That's brutal. I mean,
We traded for both those guys, by the way, at the deadline.
who's even left at wide receiver? You've got Taekwon, Kyle Pitts.
You're missing one. I'll give you a hint. He's on our team. He's on the Patriots too.
Oh, Parker.
Nope. We traded Parker.
Right, we did trade Parker.
We don't tolerate throwing your team under the bus. So we shipped his ass.
Patriots receivers. There's so few of them. Oh, we did get Douglas, right?
We did get D-Pop. Yep, D-Pop is a Minuteman. So with those injuries, take a look how things went. Baker gets hit as he throws, and yeah, there's the guy we just mentioned. Demario Douglas, D-Pop with the catch. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, we just need Baker Mayfield on this team, and things will go great. I mean, look at that, dude. Gets hit as he throws, hits D-Pop in stride, picks up. I think that's like a 30-something yard gain.
Well, that jersey number. I'm gonna give you a little trivia. Who wore it best? Douglas' jersey number. 89.
Steve Smith.
Okay, cool. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Steve Smith. No, baddest wide receiver around.
Yeah.
And then Zeke scores the opening touchdown. I mean, if you wanted to place a militia bet, Zeke first touchdown would have been a decent one. And I was going to say something. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Not a big fan of these Steelers jerseys.
Oh, the Bumblebees. We had to rock them, dude. I made an agreement with the owner if I throw my alternates on, you throw your Bumblebees.
Then he's
like,
better
all right, bet. He's like, I'll bet. I'm like, all right, cool. He's a cool dude. Steel City owners are pretty cool dude.
I mean, how did I just realize this? Lamar playing for the biggest rival.
That's another form of nonsense. And you saw Derrick Henry get stuffed there, but you can't keep El Tractocito down for too long. He picked up a big gain there. They're still on offense. Lamar, I mean, we wide open. MF wide open.
I mean,
who is that? Michael Pittman.
There's not much you can do with. I mean, first of all, our secondary is meh outside of Gonzo. And
Brill and Kyle.
True.
And then Lamar rushes in for the touchdown.
This is just a powerful Steelers offense. There's not much.
Not much you can do here. I mean, they have a significantly better offense on paper than us, and Lamar rushes in for the touchdown. I honestly thought this was it. I thought, all right, this is going to be a back and forth battle, back and forth between Lamar and Baker Mayfield. Hilarious, rekindling the AFC North. And then we have the militia now on.
They had some battles, though. They really did.
They really did have some battles.
I really
And-
think Baker Mayfield isn't taken seriously enough in the NFL.
Let's rewind that because you need to see who that is.
Also, who's that? Jones?
Oh, just relax. Oh, Lamar. Okay, so yeah, because of the lack of depth we have at wide receiver, this guy gets on the field. It's Jones. Try to you know it.
You made it. Oh wait, don't tell me, Julio.
Yeah, we
We were talking about this in 2021, weren't we?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I make our dreams come true with the militia. All right. If we have said we want them on the Patriots, they're on the militia. And then, yeah, 4th and goal. You think that is going to lead to something, but Demario Douglas just burst through the hole that was intended for Julio, and then he's denied. So Steel City goes back on offense, but then my guy, my hero, Micah Parsons, just squashing any sort of hope.
That just looks worse and worse over time, doesn't it?
That we didn't trade up for him?
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm on record saying it. And then you think, all right, well, let's have the other star get some progress. Nope, Micah Parsons stops him and then squashes anything from happening, doesn't let them even progress, so that meant nothing. And then Demario Douglas again in the flat, wide open.
Since we're going to recognize Micah Parsons, I'm not putting these two on the same level, but I'm just going to say, how about Anthony Jennings?
Bro, so good. Did you see him shrug that guy off last night?
Yeah. One of the hidden gems of that, everybody talks about Kyle Duggar in that 2020 draft class, but Anthony Jennings is right up there in terms of masterful draft picks from that class.
It'll be interesting to see how the Uche deal gets with him. See if they re-sign him.
Oh, right, Uche too.
So,
Got to keep Uche, I think.
This man who needs to score a touchdown desperately gets one on the NSN. Tyquan Thornton. I mean, just a nice little seam route right up the middle. Baker finds him.
That man needs to
Block that
score
catwalk.
a touchdown in real life sometime soon. It's longer. Has he even scored it? Has he even
I
had
don't
a
think he
touchdown?
scored.
Oh, he had 2 last year.
I don't think he scored this year.
No. Dude, he's had 8 catches.
Almost 9. And then again, my guy, Micah Parsons. Another sack, talking that trash to Lamar as he takes him down. Dude, Micah Parsons is my favorite player. I love him so much.
I think it's a shame that for the one time we haven't played Patrick Mahomes since 2020, right? And
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think we have.
And it's a shame that we don't have Judon for that. It would be lovely to see Judon harass Patrick Mahomes.
So, Sword, I want your thoughts on this because this is very Patriots-esque, and this is what I want to show, that we can't be doing this type of shit, all right? So, there's 8 seconds left in the half, all right? It's like, all right, let's just take a shot. We have a timeout. Let's just see what happens.
Mhm.
So, I'm yelling in the suite to just bomb it downfield. Baker listens to the champ, and he fires it to Tyquan. All right, so you think, all right, boom, timeout, field goal. No! A goddamn holding call. Now, if you've seen similarities with the militia and the Patriots, the undisciplined shit is gotta go. And this is the type of thing that cannot happen if you want to win football games. And you didn't see a lot of that last night.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a shame we won't get to see the scores recap.
You don't get to see the scores, but you get to see the matchups. And I'm trying to think of a name for every team. So right now, all right, let's go through it live on air. Give a little.
Also, how is Bills Chiefs not the Sunday night matchup? What a
Because it's
bang
Bang Bird Gang. Bang Bang Bird Gang, Eagles Cowboys. Of course, it's Sunday night.
Oh, okay. Sorry, they got Sunday and Monday wrong at the very bottom right, and so
yeah, there's Sunday at 8:15. There's a lot of Sunday at 8:15.
I think those are Monday night games.
Yeah, I think they are too, but we're not.
Yeah,
we're not.
Never mind. Eagles Cowboys definitely deserve it. There's no question about that.
So we got. I'm gonna call the Buccaneers the Pirates. They're the Pirates. All right. I mean that's what a Buccaneer is. Pirate. You got the Dirty Birds. You got the Motor City Kitties. Obviously, Da Bears.
Mhm.
I don't care where I am in the universe. They're always gonna be Da Bears. The Horseshoes. I think I called them Horseshoes. We got the Orange Kitties. We got the. I don't know what a Jaguar is. I think we gotta table that one.
Want to be Tiger?
The Faux Tigers, something. We have the Elves, Panthers. I don't have anything for yet.
The Browns. Explain that one.
Brownie the Elf.
Oh,
So they're the Elves.
I was thinking just because it's funny that their helmet is not brown, it's orange. Just call them the Oranges.
Oh yeah, they're the Orange.
They're the Oranges, even though they call themselves the Browns.
All right, we're in. I don't have one for the Panthers yet. The Holy Ones, Texans. I don't have one for yet. Puddle Jumpers, Rams. I don't have one for yet. The Purple Birds, Seahawks. I don't. The Gold Miners, Bills Mafia. Right now, you said Arrowheads. You know that's subject to change. Horsepower in the Broncos. The Bolts.
You could also call them the Riders because they ride. Let's ride.
Damn it, Russ. We got Bang Bang Bird Gang.
Sure, he is right. Like
he's right. They ride horses.
Just took some time.
The Titans and the Mahi Mahis, and the Cheeseheads or Cheesemen. I forget. I think it was Cheesemen.
Mahi Mahis is my favorite.
The Mahi Mahis. Yeah, the Mahi Mahis is so funny. Cheesemen and Los Gigantes as well. All right, back to
you just took the Dolphins and you were like, what would this be if it were food?
Literally. That's an interesting way to my mind, how my mind works. Or all these teams. Horsepower. We were a flag football team in high school with the similar colors as the Broncos, and we were called Horsepower. And this was middle school actually. And
you call the Bills the future fillets.
The future filet mignons.
Yeah.
They're ground beef. We're gonna ground that beef though. All right, so let's get here. All right, yeah. So 3rd inches, we got Baker finding none other than Demario Douglas again. All right.
More than anything, I want the hilarity, by the way, of the Patriots finishing 4-2 in the division.
Dude, that's nonsense. If they do, that would be absolute nonsense. It needs.
And I don't see it as completely unrealistic. Bills, Jets. I mean, look at how the Bills have been playing lately, and you know the law of the universe that we just don't lose to the Jets.
We don't lose to the Jets. Death taxes, Patriots beat.
Especially if Tim Boyle's playing.
They released him. They signed someone even worse.
Who?
I don't know, but I know he's worse. I think 1,000%.
They're going to start Zach Wilson this weekend, right? I think that was the plan.
No, he doesn't want to play.
But I think they still said he's starting.
Yeah, I mean, he could start.
Yeah, he's not going
to. Oh, yeah.
I don't think he'll be happy.
Yeah, Ty Montgomery goes down with an injury. Let's skip ahead. Oh, shoot. So, I'm trying to skip ahead here to the biggest play of the game. Nope. Oh, no. Did we score again? We score again. I forgot. Sorry. I got to show that we score again. So Julio gets it.
It was Brett Ripien.
Huh?
It was Brett Ripien.
That's worse.
Yes.
Worse than Tim Boyle. So then we're back. Militia are on the 6. Baker didn't find anybody. So he says, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take it myself. And I'm going to score. Adds another tutty. And this is something I want to see Zappy do. All right. To really solidify you can be the guy, you got to take yourself and run.
Also, when people say that Mac Jones has no future in the NFL, if Brett Ripien's signing to teams, Mac Jones will be a backup somewhere. He'll find his way. Yeah. And honestly, I think a team would be damn lucky to have him as a backup.
I'd agree with that.
He's a good kid.
Good kid.
He's just been dealt a bad hand. Also Hopkins, yeah. Wonderful. I mean,
wait, what happened? Where's?
I was gonna say, you skipped the last 7 minutes.
No, where's the interception?
Okay, it's time.
What the? That's so ridiculous. All right, whatever. Well, Christian Gonzalez intercepted it on D-Hop to end the game. That's what you missed. I don't know why it's not there. It should have exported, but mistakes happen.
Our defense holding that caliber of an offense to 7 points is not so ridiculous in real life. And this is the path, by the way. If we're going to beat a team like the Chiefs, make it a low-scoring battle and have Zappy just do enough. Get a couple nice drives together. Don't make any huge mistakes.
Exactly. Just
win it 17-13.
You only let's get 20. I need to see 20 more out of this.
The Chiefs are not the kind of defense that we wouldn't be able to score 20 against, but
I think we can get 20.
It's also only our second time scoring above 20 points this year.
And we did it in the first half.
And again, it's what I said. If this happens again, put the clamp on. Play like a winner and widen that lead and just play that little bit of extra toughness. But, I mean, finally starting out with a lead, not completely blowing it, take it 9 times out of 7.
I do too. So Militia win, Patriots win. Soor and I and the Patriot peeps are going home happy. So that's all we got for you guys tonight. Thank you all for tuning in to this edition of the Gillette Gazette. Make sure you are following us on all social media platforms, Stadium Rant HQ. Visit our website, stadiumrant.com, for all sorts of content, not only Patriots, but some other NFL teams, some NBA. We got the Celtics on tonight. I got them on TV. Bezos over there. So if you're, they're the best team in Boston right now. The Garden's popping. Gillette is not. So go check them out. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already.
Hopefully this game brings a little bit more pep into the step next time we play at Gillette. It would be nice for the fans to be able to see a game like this live.
Yeah. Let's play well in front of the fans. They need it. That's the next step. Get a home win. I like that, Soor. That's the next step.
It's interesting watching the Steelers shout yesterday for Mason Rudolph. It reminded me of the game
I saw
we went
those
to.
signs. Did you see the signs?
Yeah.
Those so funny.
It reminded me of the game we went to with the Zappy chance. I guess good job with the Zappy chance. You were just a year early.
Yeah, that was a little foreshadowing there for sure.
Maybe. I think that's what my take on this. Probably not, but I'm gonna let it happen. And if Zappy gives me enough of a reason,
maybe
this is Zappy's job to play for right now. Zappy has the chance
100%.
to basically persuade Kraft and Belichick and whoever the powers that will be at the time we draft to not draft a quarterback. That's his plea. You've watched Draft Day, right?
No.
Okay, you should watch Draft Day. That's a
I'll watch Draft Day.
But anyway, yeah, this is his case. Get someone else. We don't need a quarterback.
Hot take.
No, I'm saying that's the words he should be trying to communicate to this organization via his play.
Agreed.
Whether it happens, I don't know, but I'm okay with giving it a shot. We have 4 games to do it, and I think that's enough of a sample size with this win as well to say, all right, you strung together 5 good games together as a starter. We're going to give this a shot. And then what you do is, this is a deep quarterback class. You've got guys like Sam Hartman in later rounds. You've got some good quarterbacks that will be available late. Get a guy in the 3rd, 4th who can compete with Bailey Zappi. Give him a run for his money, maybe even beat him. And then spend your first couple picks on tackles, receivers, tight end, whatever it is. Playmakers.
100%. So go follow us everywhere. And then at Pat_Pitts and at Sovor on Twitter. And we'll be back on Monday. We'll be back next week. We'll be back next week for another edition of the Gillette Gazette. So thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We will see you next week. Oh, I wanted to catch that. Yeah!